Shams Charania, one of the top NBA insiders, had a report on what the Charlotte Hornets plan to do with the second overall pick. And through Stadium, I believe it is, there's a FanDuel sponsorship. So there's this gambling connection. He makes a report that moves the markets. A lot of people bet on the guy that Shams said was going to be the second overall pick. That guy wasn't the pick, so FanDuel makes some money in the process. And some folks see that and understandably say, that's a dangerous space for everyone involved. And look, I don't know enough about the NBA. I don't know enough about Shams. I don't know enough about FanDuel's relationship with him to even begin to suggest there was anything untoward. But the circumstance invites people to say, this looks a little fishy. It's the circumstance that's the problem. And this is where the NFL needs to be concerned. Why? Because the NFL directly employs reporters, directly employs the very people who would be inclined to tweet or to say on TV, on the very network the NFL owns and operates, that the team that holds the second overall pick is contemplating doing something that no one expects, is contemplating going in a different direction, is contemplating picking this guy instead of the guy we think they're going to pick. Just think if on the day of the draft, Ian Rappaport was on NFL Network saying that he's hearing the Panthers have had a last-minute change of heart and might take Anthony Richardson instead of Bryce Young. That would have affected the betting market. People would have relied on that. They would have hedged. They would have put money on Richardson to be the first overall pick. And then it doesn't happen. And all those people that bet on Richardson to be the first overall pick lose their money to the sports book that sponsors the NFL, whichever one it currently is. Last year or the year before, there were 7 of them. So that's a concern because inside information, as it relates to all aspects of the NFL, should be the NFL's concern. And when you're talking about, look, it's one thing to say we're concerned that there will be information about who's really injured, who's not injured, what the plays are going to be, who's going to be featured in this game. That is a real concern. That is a real concern. But that's still a step removed from the game itself. The game still plays out the way the game plays out. Whatever inside information you may or may not have about the planning going in, the game is still the game. For something like this, the information is the game. There is no other game. What do the Panthers plan to do? That's all that matters. That's it. There's no variable. There's nothing else that happens other than the Panthers communicate their pick to the NFL. So if you've got somebody who is on the NFL payroll, a league that is sponsored by these sports books, who's putting out information about a potential change in someone's plans that causes the betting markets to move and eventually causes a bunch of consumers to lose money because they relied upon that reporting, that's a problem. And this is just one of the other various ways that there needs to be people working for the league who are thinking of these issues creatively, brainstorming these potential problems, looking at anything out there that could cause them to say, hey, maybe we should be concerned about that. I mean, that's why I'm talking about it. I saw what happened with the NBA. And look, it's the NBA's business. It's Shams' business. It's FanDuel's business. I don't care about how it gets worked out. I care about how it could play out for the NFL as a stakeholder in the NFL. So if I care about it, the league should care about it. If I'm trying to think of solutions to it, the league should be trying to think of solutions to it because we all have a vested interest in avoiding the kind of scandal that will truly undermine public confidence in and the integrity of the sport of professional football. That's the phrase that gets thrown around all the time by the commissioner when he decides to throw the book at somebody. That is the phrase that keeps the people under the big top of Big Shield. If you don't have public confidence in the game, if there is no integrity of the game, why is anyone paying attention to it? So it's something else the league needs to be concerned about. There's a lot of stuff the league needs to be concerned about. There's lists and sub-lists and topics and subtopics. But when you jump in bed with sports books, when you take their millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, you acquire an obligation to spend some of that money toward identifying problems and solving them before they become problems.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.